my
some
dear.
of the hits in this one. Here.
Love the College Rugby League.
Williams again leading the way. Murray getting involved as well. They come back towards the middle of the park. And oh, guess what? Another big hit. Knock on, so what a hit there. Here.
Love the College Rugby League. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Live league action coming to you courtesy of Westlake Boys College. And on screen there, one of our major sponsors, Hayden and Rollett, bringing you the live footage courtesy of our live stream partners, CTAS. And the major sponsor for the College Rugby League is SAS Sporting Apparel. Joining us very soon, I'll have the great pleasure and a warm welcome for Corey Rosser, who will be our main commentator for today. And we're just booting up a couple of laptops here down field side. Beautiful day for rugby league. And Corey, welcome in, mate.
Thank you very much, Troy. And as you mentioned, a lovely day for rugby league. Really good pitch here at Westlake as well. Looking forward to this one, our first College Rugby League live streamed game of the year. And we've got a couple coming up over the next few weeks. All the details for that are available on aucklandleague.co.nz. There is our referee today in control in the middle of the park, and a big shout out to Crown Lift Trucks, sponsors of the referees, and also our very own Fox Championship. And speaking of the Fox Championship, Troy, the final round of the qualifiers this weekend. The last spot in the championship is going to go down to the wire, and the Fox as well. Still some stuff to be decided there. Exciting stuff.
Certainly is, mate. Looking forward to this week's action. We're at the home of the Hawks, Manurewa East. And they'll be having a big day in the office as they're up against Point Chevalier Pirates. So that kicks off at 2:30, and you'll be able to get to that at the Auckland Rugby League website, aucklandleague.co.nz. We've got an under-18s game as the curtain raiser kicking off around 12:20. So looking forward to it. Big action. We've got more to come as well, and we'll probably talk about the Women and Leagues Day on the Sunday following. But right now, all attention is on the Westlake boys here as they're getting into the huddle, and looking forward. There's young Jeff Morton in the background there, who had a successful day on Saturday, one of the best games we called.
Yeah, indeed. Northcote coming from behind, I think it was 20-6 at half-time over Otahuhu, and Northcote just stormed home. James Waterson scoring a hat-trick along the way there as well. It means Northcote remain equal top at the in the Fox, tied with Howick, but just trailing on points differential. They're having a great year, and I think really good to see some Fox coaches getting involved as well. I think John O'Paul's got the Kelston team as well, so it's nice to see those guys giving back.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mount Up Grimmer's got a good coaching staff and roster there as well. And just in the background, as we're talking about coaches, Jethro Friend plays in the premiership team for the Howick Hornets, and he's down here looking after the Manurewa side today. So great talent right across the board.
So a couple of names to watch out for in this Westlake team, and one guy that we've been able to call last year, Jaden Dagg, the dummy half, a really tough little player, gives good service there. He'll keep going all day, and would imagine that much of the game plan will revolve around him. Watch for Kearden Hatch at fullback as well. He came through the Region of Origin series last year and has shown some real talent, so keep an eye on him.
And if you've just joined us in, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ARL TV live broadcast of the College Rugby League, sponsored by SAS Sporting Apparel. And if you hear a little bit of rustling in the background, we're in our, what would you call this, our mai-mai?
Yeah, that's probably an accurate description.
We're in our mai-mai.
Yeah, a very budget mai-mai, perhaps.
As we get ready for today's kickoff. And I was fortunate to see Manurewa early in the piece up against Mount Albert Grammar. And Mount Albert proved to have probably a fairly strong side that day. They certainly took it to them. But in saying that, Manurewa's got some good handy footballers there, and I think you've already touched on a number of them. But interesting to see how Westlake boys are going to go, being one of the gun sides this year in the 2019 season. So we're getting ready for kickoff now. Big thank you again to Hayden and Rollett, our associate sponsors, along with the major sponsor, SAS Sporting Apparel. And it looks like we have Westlake boys getting ready to kick off.
So it will be Westlake to get us underway off the boot of Ollie Parsons. So here we go. SAS College Rugby League action. Westlake boys up against Manurewa, and it will be the visitors to have the first carry of the game. And a big day for them. Of course, had to leave fairly early this afternoon in order to trek across Auckland in that famous congestion. And good catch up with Coach Jethro Friend earlier. He's a wonderful guy to have on board, isn't he, Troy? Such a smart footballer, and of course his family, a long history involved in all levels of the game.
Yeah, don't make me start talking about his dad, Clayton Friend, Carlo Park legend. And no, there's the whole family is entrenched in rugby league, and as you said, what a great asset for Manurewa to have Jethro on board.
So jump out of dummy half now via the captain Papani, who steals some good metres there and takes them up over halfway, I think it is. So in the background there, Coach Jeff Morton, and now Rewa. It's a little bit messy, but they get to the kick, and the chase isn't great, and as a result, it's claimed on the full by Hatch, who then returns with interest. So nice first touch there from young Kiarden Hatch. A good set from Manurewa, and they force Westlake to retrieve that ball about 10 off their own line. A dodgy play the ball that time, but it's allowed to play on. And Westlake ruck this ball forward now via Ethaniel Tuana. Five short of halfway. It's Elijah Panton that time carrying forward. Good defence from Manurewa, muscling up there, and they wrestle him back to pretty much where he started from. Dag directs play back towards the centre of the park, and then we take him down right on halfway. Dag clears the ruck, goes out the back, and it will be a high one, and the chase is good from Westlake. A tester early on at the back here for Amosa, who allows it to bounce and then recovers nicely to bring that ball back, and is confronted immediately by a sea of red.
Yeah, and the sea of red, good to see the traditional jersey back for Westlake boys. Last year we were here and they had white jerseys with white numbers, and that was a trick to call. That said, Rewa grinding out now.
Mentioning the sea of red, of course we'll be seeing a different sea of red this weekend at Mount Smart Stadium. The Mate Mata Tonga team out in force, and got to see the famous Tonga mobile this morning with the 17 or so Tongan flags on top of the roof there. So looking forward to that match, and of course a number of our Auckland Rugby League juniors to be involved in that one as well. Rewa now work up over halfway, and looking now at their first meaningful attacking set of the game. Papani is the dummy half, pointing left, and said he will go right. Jumps out, steals a whole lot of metres early on, and now space on this right edge here, and Manurewa taken down just short of the line, and that'll be hand over ball, and it was Leilua Tamaliao who broke free, but taken down just short of the line, and Westlake just hold on. Papani looks lively out of dummy half, and a nice little run that time almost sets up the opening try.
Westlake boys on the train spin-like effort, trying to get a wee bit of field position as they grind out inside their 20, 30.
Impressed by Manurewa's line speed early on, getting up and closing down particularly his outside backs, who are looking to come in and do a little bit of work for Westlake. There's big contact.
Welcome back to the College Rugby League. We love the big hits.
Lato, I think it was, leading the charge for Rewa that time. Dag jumps out now and splits the line, and coming across in desperate cover. Someone's lost their headgear in the background. Nice run that time from young Sam Dag, or Jaden Dag, I should say, as the ball comes loose now. And advantage Westlake, and they will have their first proper attacking opportunity so far in this game. Amosa, he let the first one bounce earlier, and that time just couldn't handle it. And now Westlake boys with a chance to build some pressure.
Yeah, their first chance too, I think, in the opposition's half. So it'll be interesting to see how they execute this set. So get ready to pack in.
So ball goes in. Set heavy to the right, and that is where they will go. They straighten up now via the centre. This is Finau Payne. Dag is the dummy half. Big man set to his left. Instead they'll go right. They're going to try to attack down this left edge of Manurewa's. Dag now will work it back towards the centre field. Here's Sam Wilson. Good defence from Manurewa and ball loose. So Manurewa force the error with some good defence, and that has been the most impressive part of their game so far that time. Getting up in the face of Wilson, and they force the drop ball.
Yeah, opportunity squandered there somewhat as we move around in the duck hunting mai. It reminds me a wee bit of when you were a young fella hiding under a sheet at home, building a little hut. Yep, and the roof falls a little bit as we get ready for the scrum to pack in.
So Peter Uelisi carries forward and starts to set for Manurewa. Finau Payne up in the line that time, makes the tackle. See there, Papani looking to move some bodies and get things moving. Centre field they come via Katoa, Year 13 student, part of the Manurewa All-Stars Under-17s team.
He's dropped it too. Just about to say he's a fairly sizeable unit.
The error that time from Jonathan Latu. Big advantage for this Manurewa team. A lot of them coming from within the club, that All-Stars Under-17s team, providing the majority of the talent for this side. So Parsons to feed the scrum, and again they're set heavy to the right. That's messy. I think it came off a Manurewa player at some point there. They work back centre field now. 40 out from the line. Back through the middle of the park. There's a nice carry from Caden Tolua. Dag the dummy half. Place to Panton, who carries forward. That's a great carry, still driving the legs as Panton. Excellent work, and he's going to get to a quick play of the ball as well. Dag will clear the ruck, goes to his left, finds Parsons. Back row is hanging on his shoulder, now brings in Payne. Payne a looping ball over the top, but good scramble defence from Manurewa, and they contain him about 4 short of the line. Great chance here for Westlake boys. 7 minutes gone, they're looking for their first points. Hatch will go close. Dag goes left. Close thing in the corner, but that's going to be bundled into touch. He's putting the hand up and appealing. I don't think even he believed that one, and we will go back and restart the play, but looked good that time, Troy, and all off the back of some quick play of the balls from those Westlake forwards.
And shifting it around the park too, you know, they're showing good hands. Just as we get the restart now.
Brilliant first carry, and that looks like it's Uelisi. Although the ball has come loose, spoke too soon, Hatch is on it. And pressure straight back on. Look at that. Great carry from Hatch, and eventually gets wrestled to ground by Peter. Formerly part of the school's first 15 rugby union team. Dag will shift play to the right, and then it'll come back towards the middle of the park, fending away, breaking tackles for fun. Payne goes out the back door. Space now here for Kingy. Kingy gets rid of one. Kingy's still going. Brilliant stuff from Kyson Kingy. Rora's dummy half to Parsons. Parsons looking for a friend, can't find one, and instead takes the tackle himself. Smack bam centre field. Great territory for a set play here. They move the ball now to Payne. Payne breaks out of one, little flick pass out the back. They've gone close here, Westlake, just short of the line. Quick play of the ball. Right they go. Payne, it's loose. I think it touched Manurewa. This will be 6 again if it's not a try at the end of it. So 6 to play with. Back-to-back sets here for Westlake. How long can Manurewa hold on for? Parsons goes on the ball, turns back onto the inside to Wilson. Wilson fighting, trying to stay on his feet, eventually taken to ground, and Manurewa do a good job to slow the play of the ball down. Dag looking out the back, swings it to Parsons, to Kingy. Kingy isolates his winger. Surely this will be a try. Westlake open the scoring. Tomasi Tomaniko in the far left corner. And the home team are on the board just short of the 10-minute mark.
As we have a quick look at the SAS Sporting replay, and this is off the back of back-to-back sets. A lot of pressure had been mounted. Nice little drop back on the inside there. Big bookend, manages to draw on a couple of defenders. Showing great strength too. Look at the wrestle here. Just carrying them closer to the line. Looking for a quick play of the ball here. And obviously the left-hand edge is where it was all on. And you can hear them yelling for the tee in the background. So here comes the action replay. Just spit up a little bit. Reach that nice pass wide. This centre's looking really strong today. Attracted a number of defenders there and just gave him enough room for the winger and across the line.
He went looking for the contact there, didn't he, Dominico? He could have probably finished that one untouched in the corner. Instead, he wanted to break off one more. It didn't matter in the end. He got there. As we have time off as they look for the kicking tee, but a really good start for Westlake, who have been really good this year. And I think last week was actually their first defeat of the year. So they're looking good under coach Jeff Morton. Yeah, they shift the ball around. There's some great play there, and no different to how Northcote play. You know, their game, they certainly had one of the best games of the season that we called, Corey. You know, not a big side, but they certainly know how to play football, and they know how to, you know, shift the ball from coast to coast. You're right to mention Kyson Kingy, that centre out on that left edge. We saw him do a big don't argue on someone a couple of minutes ago. Looks really classy and a strong carrier of the ball. So we will watch his progress as this game goes on. Parsons now attempts the conversion. It's a fair strike, but it will fade away badly to the right in the end. And the score will remain Westlake Boys High School 4, Manurewa High School 0. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, Corey, don't forget all of our action replays, all of the replays for the College Rugby League will be up online tomorrow, and you'll be able to get to that through the Auckland Rugby League YouTube channel for catching all of the College Rugby League through to the end of the season as we make our journey towards the finals. So just over 10 minutes gone. So Rewa to get us back underway off the boot of Reno Wright, the vice captain. And off the back fence, here comes Wilson. He's still going, Wilson. Straight through the heart of the Manurewa defence. What a carry. Quick play the ball, yeah. Quick play the ball as well. No, you're quite right to jump in there, Troy, as Westlake power through the middle of the park. It's play 2 and they're already at halfway. Brilliant stuff, and it all starts off the carry of Wilson. Dag now identifies that there's no one at dummy half and steals a few more. Spring in their step now, Westlake. Dag will go to his left. Hatch breaks out of one. Hatch still going. And a knock on to finish it all. So a disappointing end to the set, but what about that carry from Wilson? I'm going to make the call now. That's one of the best carries we've seen this year at any level. Now, we'll just mention again, if you can hear a little bit of rustling in the background, that is just our temporary roof we're using here at Westlake. Sunblock. Things go a little back to grassroots when we're at the College Rugby League, but this is where it all started out. It takes you back to the back of the car with an umbrella. Papani is the dummy half. He will go left. Need a little bit of ball here, Manurewa. Done a whole lot of defence in the last 5 minutes. Yeah, bit of rearranging, mate. Through the middle they work it now. This is Katoa. Just short of halfway, right on the Hayden and Rollett signs. Go out the back and they get to a good kick as well, which will go between winger and fullback. Will bounce back up. That's a brilliant kick and an even better chase. Great D. Working out of dummy half now. Yeah, looking for another worker. Good line speed again. It was Vuniyayawa that time leading the charge for Rewa. Dag goes to his left. They're going to move the ball now, Westlake. Kingy must have thought about the pass there, but instead held on to it. Now at his last tackle, centre field they come. A long driven kick, which goes in behind, and he stepped out there, I'm pretty sure. He has indeed. Amosa didn't look like he needed to play it. That one, it was probably going over the sideline and just put the foot in touch.
No, we're outside the 30, so what he's having a chat about. We don't have audio on the ref today.
I think you may just be reminding me, Touchy, how to do his job.
Hey. Boys there having a chat.
So Westlake ball, and another chance to attack the line here. It's unfortunate for Amosa that time. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a 40-20. Certainly didn't look like it on first inspection. So Parsons to feed the scrum. Ball comes out and they'll go straight to this right edge. This is Tomaniko, the try scorer from earlier. Just poked his nose through. Jansen links up with his lock, Panton. 15 gone. It's Westlake who lead by 4. Dagger's the dummy half. Right side they attack. Now back on the inside. Nice little play that time. But Manurewa holds strong. Dag at dummy half now, and will need to come back in centre field. This is Finau Payne, who's had some classy touches so far. He'll go very close as well. Right on their line here. Little deception there with some misdirection plays. Here's Wilson looming in the centres. That's unfair. You can't have a man that big looming out wide, and it breaks down eventually at the hands of Kingy. But what about that? You're a centre. You look up, and Big Sam Wilson is opposite you. Terrifying sight, no doubt. But this Westlake team, boy, they look well drilled, Troy. We saw that time a couple of little sort of misdirection decoy plays, I guess you'd call them. It's got Jeff Morton written all over it so far, this game plan. Yeah, nice little couple of settles there to the short side, and that obviously was a set play, putting the big book in at the centre. And he's obviously got some skills, so that won't be the first time we'll see him out there. So Rewa back on the attack. Credit to Manurewa as well. Their defence has been very good. They've leaked one try, but on the whole have looked very good, both with their line speed and their commitment on their own line. Yeah, and it's been sustained pressure too. You know, they've been down here now, just, you know, oh, nice little body contact there. Getting him on his back there in the wrestle, not liking it. Tamaroa it is who is wrestled to ground eventually. Now they come back through the middle of the park. Parsons involved in the tackle that time, and then Wilson joins in and says back where you came from, and puts him to ground almost exactly where the play of the ball was just a play earlier. They jump out of dummy half now, work through the middle of the park, and great contact. Forces a year. Wilson's on the ball, and look out. Oh. Goes out to his left.
I did the same thing the crowd did. Sorry, mate.
Play on, I think. And at the end of all that, will we have no advantage taken? The touchy goes to help up his mate. You will have heard the crowd in the background there. Collective sigh.
They're sitting next to us.
Maybe in the second half we'll invite them in for my.
Yeah, it looked like there was an opportunity there, just went astray. Definitely had the ability to, you know, go on the attack, and just the ball didn't stay in the hand, and hence the disappointment in the groin from the crowd as the scrums pack in. So no advantage taken, which means it will remain a Westlake ball, and Parsons will feed. Goes out to the right edge. Good line speed again from Manurewa. And close down any potential set play that was looming there. Right side they come now. This is via Panton, who's had some good carries. That's great defense, and joining in late was Uolisi. Dag, centre field. Just about offloaded there, and lucky he didn't, because it would have been to a Manurewa player. 45 out from the line. Little goose step that time from the big man. Great at first up contact though. Dag gets tackled at dummy half. Was the marker square? Yes, he was, and Vuni Ayawa forces the error. And a big play for his team there. Big D play for Manurewa. They are certainly on the line speed there, mate. Crowding them in. We mentioned before, I guess, the coaching DNA from both coaches, who we're lucky enough to have a fair bit to do with.
You know, we talked before about some of the attacking stuff, which is probably a characteristic of Jeff Morton. I think the attitude towards defence, very much a characteristic of Jethro Friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing he will be focused on is quick ruck speed, as we start to see a wee bit of it now from the Manurewa side.
So now they work it forward via Katoa, and Manurewa now with a little bit of momentum and a chance to hit back. They've done so well defensively, and they've sure to have gained a fair bit of confidence from that as well. Papani at dummy half. Comes centre field and finds the big fella. This is Katoa lining up for another carry, and it's a good one. Gets to a fairly quick play the ball as well. Papani now, Vuniyayawa on his shoulder, will miss him out and go himself. It's a brave carry, gets the offload away now. Amosa looking to dance his way through. Still going as Oscar. Part of the Papatoetoe Panthers has had an indifferent game so far, but plenty of time to make up for it. Left side they come now. This is Wright. Dribbles the kick in behind. The chase is good, but it's cleaned up well by Westlake and returned
Great feet work.
really well as well. And I think that is the opposite winger that time. That'll be, I think, Nathaniel Tuana.
Oh. Just stretched to get the one arm offload away.
Yeah, had a chance there.
They certainly can throw the ball around. Maybe a little patience required. But here comes Rewa.
It's never really on that time for Finau Payne. Their only real downfall so far, perhaps a little guilty of forcing the issue when it's not coming. Panton involved in the tackle that time and taken to ground then is Latu. Papani drags Sam Dag or Jaden Dag into the play of the ball, and now a little decoy run there which creates a gap which Amosa goes into, but it's quickly closed down by Westlake right in front of the uprights now. What have they got on offer here? Papani jumps out. Papani still going. Lonnie Papani will go close. Last play now. Timai is the dummy half. Goes way out the back. Finds his half right, who shakes out of the first one. Kicks a driven one across face. And offside the call. Hand over to Westlake. 5 minutes to go in the first half, and Westlake dodge a bullet that time after a really good set from Manurewa. Big shout out to SAS, major sponsors of the College Rugby League competition, as well as the Fox Memorial Premiership. Tim and the team, little supporters of our game here, and very much appreciate their support.
Okay. We put it in gear there and just charged into the heart of the big Manurewa defensive line. Here comes the next runner.
Timai doing well to assist in getting Panton to the ground that time. Dag now comes centre field. Here's a good carry, just creates that little half gap. Although well wrestled by Manurewa on the ground. Timai involved again. He's having a good game so far as Zedric Timai. Wilson to Hatch, who's taken the ground. Wilson now is a dummy half. He's doing it all today. Prop, centre, hooker for a play. And he's calling the shots. Dag works back centre field. They go high, and a real tester at the back here for Amosa, who's under it. They run into each other. It's spilled loose, and a knock-on will be called. And they've had a horror day at the back in terms of the high ball. One allowed to bounce, one dropped, and that time, just no communication, Troy, and they end up taking each other out.
Well, I think the sun dropping too is starting to play a wee bit. You can see the long shadow starting to draw off to the left-hand side of the screen. So it'll definitely be a tool, especially later into this match as well. A tool to use, that is, the old high ball.
Payne shakes out. Payne still going, holding on for dear life down low, one of the Manurewa defenders. And just as well, because a couple fell off up top. Dag jumps out of dummy half now. We'll link up with Wilson. Wilson will go hard and straight. driving those legs. They're 3 short of the line here. 2 minutes to play in the first half here at Westlake Boys. Parsons now. Great line speed from Manurewa. Back is the call. And they'll stay alive on the set. Hatch rushes to dummy half. Jumps out and gets taken to ground. They're about 5 short of the line here, Westlake. Dag jumps out, catches them napping, but was that knocked on?
It looked like he might have bobbled it.
No, we're going to point to the spot.
Wow.
Jaden Dag adds a second. It was very hard to see on our screen. Can't imagine what it was like for the referee on the ground. It was a close thing, and we'll get a look here as to whether or not it ended up being the correct call. Hatch jumped it out of dummy half, and it was a good carry. And then from there, Troy, just good awareness here from Dag at dummy half.
Yeah, he's always been dangerous. And he read it well. Little short sidestep and got that little arm across the line. And the referee's Johnny on the spot. He's right there. So.
Yep, great call. And Dag doubles the lead with kick to come. And this will pretty much get us to half-time.
That's what it looks like out in the real world, mate.
So Parsons to attempt the conversion. Certainly an easier one than the first. Steps in, nails it, and Westlake lead 10 points to 0. There's the hooter in the background. That will get us to half-time. And it is Westlake Boys High School leading Manurewa High School 10-0 half-time in the SAS College Rugby League competition, supported by Hayden and Rollard. A very short break for us before we resume with the second half action. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Just about to resume with the second